Let's start with a hard truth about real estate flipping. You do not make your money when you sell a property. You make it the day you buy it. If you overpay for a house, even the highest-end modern remodel cannot rescue your profit margin. To find a property that generates a return, you have to look past the finished potential and scrutinize the underlying bones and the acquisition metrics. We use a 4-step evaluation framework to filter out bad deals. Step 1 is evaluating the location. An average house in a neighborhood with strong economic growth and highly rated schools yields a safer, more predictable return than a spectacular house in a declining area. The neighborhood demand does the heavy lifting for you. Because you can change almost everything about a house except its street address, verifying that neighborhood demand is the absolute prerequisite before you risk a single dollar of capital. That brings us to step 2, the damage test. The ideal target property is what investors call ugly but healthy. We are looking for defects that are highly visible but entirely superficial. Peeling paint, outdated kitchens, and worn floors repel the average homebuyer. This drives down the acquisition price, but correcting these specific issues is relatively inexpensive and dramatically increases the property's value. Contrast that with invisible structural issues. Foundation cracks, outdated electrical grids, collapsed plumbing, or severe roof damage require massive budgets to fix, and buyers rarely notice the expense of these repairs when they walk through the door. Misdiagnosing deep structural damage as a simple cosmetic project is the most common reason new investors exhaust their budgets and face bankruptcy. Step 3 is analyzing comparables to determine the after-repair value, or ARV. This number is your property's estimated worth once fully remodeled, and it must be derived strictly from similar properties that have recently sold in the same area, not active listings. Step 4 is the 70% rule to determine your maximum offer. Take your ARV, multiply by 70%, and subtract estimated repair costs. The remaining 30% buffer covers closing costs, holding costs, realtor fees, and your actual net profit. Let's run a baseline application. If your ARV is $300,000, 70% of that is $210,000. If you estimate $40,000 in repair costs, you subtract that from $210,000, leaving you with a maximum offer price of $170,000. Pause the video and try it yourself. Find the maximum offer for a property with a $400,000 ARV and $50,000 in repairs. Here is the math. Multiply $400,000 by 70% to get $280,000. Subtract $50,000 in repairs for a $230,000 ceiling. If the seller demands even slightly above this number, like $250,000, you must walk away. Emotion must yield entirely to the math. Beyond the numbers, certain conditions should immediately terminate a potential deal, regardless of the asking price. Pending litigation, title disputes, and strict homeowner association restrictions introduce massive, incalculable risks. These variables can halt construction for months and completely invalidate your 70% rule calculations. This checklist consolidates the entire fix and flip buy box. Capture these 4 parameters: buy in a growing location, target cosmetic-only damage, verify ARV with sold comparables, and strictly execute the 70% math. Treat this checklist as an inflexible barrier to entry. Every property must pass all 4 checks before deploying capital. Applying this formula separates disciplined investors from emotional gamblers. When you secure your profit at the purchase, you give the rest of the project the safety margin it needs to succeed.